Michael Elliott.
The Mike Elliott Show.
Michael Elliott Show.
The Michael Elliott Show.
The Michael Elliott Show.
Listen to Michael Elliott.
It's the Michael Elliott Show.
Thank you for tuning in to the Michael Elliott
Help
Show.
us grow this show. Like, subscribe, and comment.
Welcome to the Michael Elliott Show. We're here again with another episode. I got my man, Tony Weeks, in the building. Y'all all know him as the third man in the ring. And we're going to talk about boxing and some of the things that he do, what he's good at, what he's great at, and how he's saved some people's lives. So we're going to introduce my man, Tony Weeks.
Thank you. First of all, thank you for having me on your show. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure being here, expressing yourself to the world, so to speak.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, they see the outside, but they don't know the inside.
Oh, absolutely.
It's always good to hear from the horse's mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So how long you been a referee boxing? How long you been doing that?
Since 95, started in Phoenix, Arizona, smaller venue. And, of course, Phoenix is right next door to Las Vegas. And I had dreams and aspirations of, coming to Las Vegas.
All right.
And it happened, and, everything is history from there.
So how you got a lot of championship fights you've done. I mean, to come 95 where you come from, you have to be doing something good in order for them to want you to be the man in the ring with these two vicious fighters.
Absolutely. It's a fight. Yeah.
One of the things that when I see you, there's a lot of blood all on your clothes and all that type of stuff. Go ahead and talk to the people about, I mean, what is that? I mean, talk to me. Tell me something.
Well, that's boxing.
That's boxing.
That's boxing. That fight was with Badu Jack and Maurice Brown. Actually, was the co-main event to the Pacquiao-Broner fight. And it was an accidental headbutt, and Badu Jack had a pretty bad cut on his forehead. And you get any type of cut on your forehead, you're going to bleed profusely, Yeah. And it was a real bad cut. The only good thing about it that it was right down the middle, and it wasn't going in his eye. It was blood was kind of flowing down the sides of his eye, so it wasn't getting in his eye.
Right.
And I took him over to the doctor twice, and the doctor okayed. Actually, I thought the second time that doctor would probably stopped it, and he didn't. And I asked Badu, "You want to continue?" He says, "Yes." He's a warrior. He's going to go. You know. And, the fight continued, and, lo and behold, you have this iconic photo of me in the corner, and it was funny, too, because, I'm in the corner during the fight, and, I'm looking at the fighters, if there's something happening or whatever the situation is, and I noticed that, photographers were looking at me, snapping pictures of them. And that was the first time I noticed all the blood on me.
So you didn't know? I'm sitting there watching the fight. I'm like, how could he do this? You know what I mean? Because we watch the cards. You know what I'm saying? In every fight, we fight fans. Vegas. It's like we love that energy, and we be hoping to see our dudes win all the time. But your job is it's a pretty hard job.
It's a tough job.
It's a tough job.
That not everybody
I hope
can
they
do.
pay you well, man, because
you
got a tough job.
We could use a little more. What I mean?
Absolutely. Y'all pay this man. Y'all get this man some money. He's saved a lot of lives, and believe that.
Well, and that's the ultimate, that we have these two guys. I mean, we enforce the rules and regulations, but that's all secondary. The number one thing is safety of the fighter.
Yeah.
And we literally have these two guys fight the lives in our hands. And a lot of decisions that we make, it could be split second, because in boxing, all it takes is one punch.
That's it.
That's all it takes. And, a lot of times you don't know the history of certain fighters, have they been taking a lot of punishment in their fights? They have a lot of gym wars in there, So, you don't know, if you don't really know the fighters, you don't know what kind of condition that they're in.
Who's the worst fighter to referee?
No, nobody really worse.
I mean, somebody that you have to take points away and you have to constantly talk to.
My brother Bernard Hopkins.
Oh yeah, Bernard got tricked.
Bernard's old school guy.
Yeah.
A lot of people think he's a dirty fighter. He's not really a dirty fighter. There's a method to his madness, when he does certain things in there. But the very first time I refereed Bernard, it was a rematch with him and Antoine Eccles.
Okay.
And actually, that was my first big fight in Vegas.
Okay.
And I never forget, it was on a Friday night, and everybody was in town because the following night you had the big fight with Fernando Vargas and Tito Trinidad. So everybody's in town, and the place is packed. And, man, I had no idea that, this was a grudge match, that they genuinely didn't like each other. And I had no idea what Bernard was all about. Just stepped in there, and then, everything, all hell went loose, and it was on HBO, and I'm just thinking to myself, oh, my God, Larry Merchant, they got a field day on this one. My career is through, you know what I mean? It's like, but it really, really showed me what I can do in a tough situation.
Yeah.
Anybody can really referee a fight if there's nothing happening.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But when all the grabbing, the pushing, the locking, all
things
of that
you got to
stuff.
look for,
Yeah.
things you got to understand, and try to be fair. With both fighters, it's really tough in there. But I came to Vegas already as a professional, but that night I became a pro. Because he and I and Bernard and I, we have a little running joke, with us. Every time I see him, I tell him, fight like a champion.
Right.
Because after all that he was doing, I finally took a point away, and I went over to the corner and I told him, hey, Bernard, fight like a champion. And he told me, hey, he couldn't dispute that. It's like, you're right. But no, any challenges is going to take you to the next level. You're going to find out who you are. It's like fighters. There's a true serum in that ring. You're going to know who you are and what you are, and what you're all about. When you're under the microscope here in Vegas, the world is seeing you.
Everybody.
And you could feel the pressure that's in that ring. But as a professional, you maintain your concentration, and because the only thing I'm focused on what's happening in that ring, nowhere else.
So we're gonna clear the air for everybody that's out there, but we're gonna come back after this message.
Visit umtmshopping.com for great quality and excellent prices on women's clothes, men's clothes, baby clothes, and children's toys, electronics, and much more. Visit us now at umtmshopping.com.
We're back with another episode. Back with my man Tony Weeks. Did y'all enjoy those commercials? I hope y'all did. Make sure you click subscribe, hit like, and share. Also, don't be greedy. Make sure you share this. Back with my man Tony. So, that was a fight that you refereed, and it was a Floyd Mayweather fight. And there was a lot of complaining going on. He didn't badmouth you, but he was complaining about some things. Which fight was that?
That was the first fight with Madonna.
With Madonna.
Yeah.
So what was that like? You know what I mean? How did all that come about, and how did that take place by you being in the ring and you being right there on firsthand on action?
Well, first of all, you have to understand styles. Okay, Mayweather's a boxer, a mover. Madonna, unorthodox. He's coming at you at all angles. When that fight started, I was, it kind of puzzled me a little bit that Floyd was on the ropes and allowing Madonna to just wail away because it was evidence when Floyd got him in the middle of the ring, he could just simply outbox him. But there was some things in there that both fighters were doing. Madonna was a little more, how can I say, more evident in what he was doing and stuff. And there's a lot of things like I could be on one side and not see certain things that's happening on the other side. And it was just a tough fight. I've done Mayweather a couple of his fights before, so I knew he was capable of doing when I'm in the ring with him and stuff. But it's just I was just a little bit taken back that he was just standing on, was just up on against the ropes and letting Mayweather just well away.
So some of the things that the audience and the people they try and throw darts at you by saying that you be stopping the fights too soon and things like that. What are you seeing that that they not seeing? You know, you can explain to them so they'll know that you actually probably just from what you've done. Nobody's really been seriously injured. Ain't nobody been slid to the hospital and almost about to die, right? That hasn't happened,
There was a fatality, but not in. It was they passed away dead days later.
Okay.
A week
and you
later,
ref the fight?
Yes, it was a couple of weeks later.
So that's got to be on your mind.
Listen, like I say, it's a tremendous burden on a referee. To have someone's life in your hand. We have their livelihood in a way, but we have their lives in our hand. As referees, we are trained to see certain things in the ring. How a fighter responds. How what kind of condition the fighter is. How they're going to react when they take their first hard shot. What the general public doesn't understand is, like I say, we're trained for that. The general public bear no responsibility what happens to that fighter.
They don't care.
Right. So they have a different mentality. Let them go, let them fight.
I couldn't wait to get you on it just so we could clear this up because people, they don't understand that it's not about so much who win and lose all the time.
No.
Because we want both fighters to win by going home.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And being able to live in. And if you're the in charge man, and we have to trust your decision, your judgment, and everything you're doing, and that's why you're the guy in the ring. I used to, I was really good friends with Joe Cortez.
Okay.
Back in like 93, 94, he used to come down to Golden Gloves gym, and I was down there just training, and he would be in there. And, he would always talk about how tough it was to be in the ring. And he said that's why he stayed in shape because he never knew when he had to whoop somebody. You know what I mean? And he had that attitude, like even when he was in the ring, he was like, "Come on, guys," taking charge.
Yeah,
and that's what you do is take charge.
Absolutely. We're in charge of that ring. The corner people, they can stop the fight at any time.
Right.
They know they're fighters, whatever, and that has happened before. But ultimately, we're in charge. We can take them over to the doctor, and we go under the advice of the doctor. So it's really up to us, whether to stop a fight or not. And like I said before, we are trained to see certain things. When you're an outside observer, you may you have a like I say, you have a different mentality. Oh, that's your guy, that's your fighter. Oh, I got money on him. Oh, whatever the situation is, we're not thinking about that at all. Okay, we're human like anyone else.
Can make a mistake.
We're prone to make mistakes. But I always say this, they don't people, and this goes out to any official in any sport. They don't really look at us as being human. What I mean by that is we have to get it right every single time out.
That's strong.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah,
that's strong.
Yeah.
I referee a little kid basketball, high school and stuff like that in my past and stuff like that. And like you say, you can't see it all. It's impossible. Too much moving and everything's going on. And and then even when you do see it after it already happened, is it okay to call it now? It's so, because it wasn't nothing that affected it, but it was a foul or something like that. So, yeah.
And people have the luxury of seeing it in slow motion, 5 different angles. And they're like, oh, wow, how did he miss that? Blah, 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 whoop-de-whoop, But no, that comes with what I do.
Can you say who's been the greatest sportsmanship fighter you've ever reffed?
Oh, wow. No one's really been had any really unsportsmanlike conduct in the ring. They've all, I think what it is that when you build a reputation as a referee, people respect you. Yeah. Okay. And that goes a long way, as opposed to, for example, going back to what I was saying with Bernard Hopkins and Antoine Eccles. That's the first time Bernard, I was new in Vegas. That was the first time Bernard, saw me as a referee. excuse me. And I remember going into the locker room and giving instructions, and Bernard, he's sitting down on the couch, and when I come in, he stands up, and I know he was that tall, and, you know, and I worked 25 years in the maximum security penitentiary, and I know when somebody's staring me down. You know?
Right.
I say he's trying to figure me out, staring me down, whatever it is,
Size you up.
Yeah, well, can I get away with something?
Yeah.
Because he's gonna try you.
And,
But like I say, no, it's all part of the game, and through experience, you gain the wisdom in knowing how to conduct yourself in certain situations and stuff. And because a lot of calls that I make, some of the calls I make is just instinctive. You see something and then you just react to it. You know,
that's human.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is there a fight that happened that you didn't referee, but you was like, I wish I had that fight?
I mean, I have to go all the way back to the Madison Square Garden, March 8th, 1971, in New York City, first Ali Frazier fight.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You wish you had that fight.
Oh, what an event. I mean, to this day.
Let's talk about it right now.
You've never, I was in great.
Who was reffing that fight?
Arthur Mercanti, Sr.
Yeah, Arthur Mercanti.
And actually that was the first time that I noticed a referee. In terms of wow, what a position to be in. Be in that ring. I never grew up having any dreams and aspirations of becoming a referee. But I love boxing. I was blessed to come up during the Ali era.
So did you ever go in the gym and spar and train? And
I was in the martial arts.
Okay.
Yeah. I was more in the martial arts.
Because to be in a ring, you got to know how to fight.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
You got to know how to
definitely.
fight. Yeah.
You definitely. And if you notice my style in the ring, my footwork.
Yeah.
That comes from the martial arts and stuff,
right.
Knowing how to move in different directions and so forth and so on.
Kenny Bayless is funny when he referees because he's right in there. He look like he's about to fight. You know what I mean? He got his hands set up and all of that.
Oh yeah, well, everybody has their own style.
Yeah, everybody got their own style.
That's all it is, But we all have the same assignment in terms of enforcing the rules and like I say, ultimately, protecting the fighters.
So who's a really good fighter right now today? Who's like in middle class? They got like about 5 guys in that from light to welterweight with Shakur, Gervonta Davis.
Yeah, they got them all.
Devin Haney and
they,
even we could throw the boy AB in there too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can never count anyone out.
You can never count anyone out.
Number one. No, there's a lot of
who's coming up right now that's the strong fighter.
Really as a referee, I can't really point on that who's coming out. I don't want to
be biased towards
but there's a lot of great fighters out there now. There's a lot of great fighters coming up. The only thing is that we need to make these fights happen. There's one thing I judge the UFC fights. I don't referee. I judge those fights. Okay. And the UFC, they're real popular because they make the fights that the fans want to see and stuff. And having grown up, like I was saying before, during the Ali era, late 60s or 70s and 80s, you had some great champions. And everybody fought each other, and these guys went 15 rounds.
I remember that. I remember 15 rounds. Sugar Ray Leonard, the one changed that. Well, I mean, his fight when he did the 12 rounds with Hearns, I believe.
Well, no. He went 12 rounds with. He went 15 rounds with Hearns both times, but he went 12 rounds with Hagler.
So the third fight that was Sugar Ray. Did they have 3 fights?
No, they had 2.
Sugar Ray and Hearns too.
Yeah.
I know he had the red and white trunks on.
Right, that was the second fight.
So the Hagler fight was the 12 rounds.
Right, that went to the 12 round.
And that was kind of when they started doing that.
I think it was before that. I don't know the exact history of that.
In that area, yeah.
But
that was my favorite fight of Sugar Ray.
Okay.
Yeah, for me. What I mean? Growing up, that was my era.
Yeah.
Ali had already, done his thing. You know what I mean?
And
but Sugar was fighting, and I had heard about Sugar Ray Robinson.
Yeah.
How good he was.
Yes.
And seen a couple
Yeah.
of clips and things like that. So
Yeah.
I've been a fighting fan, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
You know Yahya McClain, right?
Oh yeah, yes, absolutely.
You ever do any of his fights?
No, I did it in the movie. Yeah, when
Yeah,
he did,
in the movie. Yeah, he was in the movie with Creed.
Yeah, well, we was in Creed 3, but I actually refereed a fight scene that he did in the last Rocky movie.
Okay.
You know, there was a little fight scene on,
Yeah, yeah.
in the opening scene of the movie. But
So
yeah.
so did you go out for the part, or did they just call you and say?
They called me. Yeah.
That was a good
You
thing.
know, a lot of times what they're doing now, they want to really legitimize these fight scenes. Make them more authentic. So they're hiring people who actually do boxing. Whether it's a referee, a judge, announcer, or somebody, that people can identify with. And a lot of these fight scenes are really, the guys' techniques are really, really great now. I was really impressed when I did Creed 3.
Man, that was a good movie.
Yeah,
The plot, the plan, everything about it was good.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah. So yeah, me and Yaya were really good. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's my partner. We
Oh, yeah.
went to school together and everything.
Okay. Yeah.
Just talk to him,
Yeah.
at least once a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's living in Atlanta
He's
now.
in
so-
Atlanta now.
Yeah. Okay.
With his crazy self. Yeah. So outside of boxing, who's Tony Weeks?
Wow. I'm just a regular, simple guy. Like I say, I love sports. I love working out. I grew up, in Brooklyn, New York,
Okay.
inner city, and I got into athletics early. Played part 1 of football, ran track, and did martial arts.
So when you played Pop One, was you good?
Oh yeah.
What position you played?
Yeah, I played running back.
How many touchdowns you scored a game?
I can't remember, but I scored a lot. I scored a lot. Actually,
So was you a power or a speed?
Speed.
Okay.
No, I was fast. Because I was
you
small.
get around the outside and just take it right to him.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, I was small. You know what I mean? And actually, I played 2 years of part 1. In my second year, I won the most outstanding back.
Okay.
Of the league.
So in the martial arts, when that took place, you ever compete?
Yeah, I competed in the points tournament.
Yeah, yeah.
They didn't have the full contact,
Just off the points, yeah.
back then and stuff. But growing up in the city, it was more for protection.
We learned martial arts in the streets.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And during that time, martial arts was still evolving. A lot of people
Oh,
didn't.
Bruce Lee,
Yeah.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you know what I'm saying? Jim Kelly,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A Bolo, you know what
Yes,
I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
So excuse me. No, I just like I say, I've been in athletics all my life and stuff, and I just enjoy, I enjoy people. I enjoy being around people. And I also, I'm actually with my second career I'm working on is performing, singing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, it's a recording studio right next door, man. You ready right now? We got the producer, you know what I'm saying?
you
We
know
got
what
it
I mean?
going down.
Hey,
y'all look out. Tony Weeks' new album first. Hey, you heard it here first. It's called Don't Be a Player. No.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, man, it's gonna be good.
No.
That's a good thing, though.
Yeah, absolutely. It was funny because we were at a convention. It was, I believe, it was a WBA convention in Indonesia, and they had a live band playing. And they was like, okay, listen, we're gonna go on a little 15-minute break, but before we do it, anybody want to come up and do a little number? I'm looking around. Heart going about 400 miles an hour.
That'll be me.
Yeah, I do. And I got up there and I started singing. And everybody just was amazed. Like,
Is that right?
Yeah,
Well, listen, when we finish here, let's go to C3.
Okay.
It's right around the corner.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, man, that's going to be cool. And, they do karaoke over there, too.
Okay.
And all of that kind of stuff. And it's a cool place.
Yeah, most definitely.
So-
actually, I'm going to cut you off, but we just had last year we had a convention in Chicago, and we were invited out to Buddy Guy's place.
Okay.
And the blues singer Buddy Guy.
Yeah, yeah.
And someone told him that, Tony Weeks, he's a singer. He said, what? Oh, we'll put you on stage. Okay. He not only put me on stage, he made me a headliner. So in November, I performed at Buddy Guy's Legends right there in Chicago.
You're going to be the first referee to sing the national anthem and ref the fight at the
I've heard
same
it so many
night. You're going to be the first one to do it. It's going to happen. Because we don't speak it into existence. You know?
Oh, yeah. But, the thing about it is that, through boxing, I'm known around the world. And that kind of puts a little foot in the door.
Yeah, absolutely.
Instead of, some Joe Blow coming off the street, hey, I'm a singer, blah, blah, blah. No, people know who you are. And,
But if you couldn't sing, you'd be all bad.
Oh, forget about it.
So in New York, your parents, both your parents, you live with both parents or just one?
Oh, no, I had both. My mother remarried.
Okay.
And I had both parents. They're both deceased now.
Okay.
And stuff.
Rest in peace.
But yes, thank you. We grew up there, and like I say, right there in Brooklyn. And let me tell you, man, I've been all over the world, all over the country. There's no place I'd rather grow up in but Brooklyn.
Wow. I thought you was gonna say Vegas.
No, man.
See,
no,
Vegas
no,
is that spot. No.
Yeah.
No. Brooklyn is like the California of the West Coast. You know what I mean? And California and Vegas is so close. It's kind of a lot alike. But the difference is Vegas is a lot faster than California. California is more ran down and thuggish, and it's hard grind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Out here, it's not that. Yeah.
But,
so when you driving through town and stuff, and you going into the grocery stores, people want to take pictures with you and all of that kind of stuff. You know?
People, they either look at me and where I seen you before, or come up to, hey, Tony Weeks, right. Referee and stuff. And to me, is not so much they see me on TV, but they appreciate the work you do.
Yeah, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
No doubt. And that's why, even before I seen you and asked you to come. We talked at the barbershop at Glenn's barbershop.
Okay.
You remember?
We
were talking about Floyd was getting ready to fight somebody. And we was just kind of, conversing about it and stuff like that.
Okay.
And you was there.
Yeah. Well, Glenn, he does my trademark. This is my
man. Glenn is a hell of a barber.
Glenn is Uppercuts Barbershop.
I actually was going to go to Glenn today to see if he could trim me up because my barber's out of town.
Okay.
So I was actually going to go to, but I know Glenn only take appointments. I know I could go in there and say, Glenn, come on, man. I just if he had time, but. My time ran short, so I wasn't able to get to it.
That's it.
Yeah, but Glenn's a good dude, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've been coming to him since I moved to Las Vegas.
Right on.
Oh yeah.
Glenn got the finest clientele. Yeah.
You know it. Oh yeah.
So what's next for you? I mean, outside of the music and refereeing, what's anything else?
No, I mean that's primarily it. Right now, I'm retired. Like I said, I worked 25 years in maximum security penitentiary, and I retired from that in 2013, and just doing the fights and doing the singing.
Working in a prison, seeing somebody every day, and you're going to see these people every day.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what is that like?
It's, it's like anything else. You come in and you have to earn your respect. You don't demand respect. You earn your respect. And through the years let me rewind. I came in at the introductory level, which is CO, security officer and correction officer, and I looked at certain departments that they had, and they had recreation. And I said, when the opening came up in recreation, I said, that's where I want to be. And I did my entire career in recreation. Why? Because recreation, you're going to deal with the entire population, and they come to the rec yard with a little different attitude, a little leisure. But then again, things can happen on the rec yard.
It's a lot of stuff. So I mean, I know there's riots, there's shankings, and
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. For you to survive and be able to come home every night.
Yeah. I through recreation, you had your regular programs, basketball, baseball, so forth and so on. But I always thought outside the box. And this is how I started refereeing. I put on a boxing exhibition in the prison. And this has never been done before in the federal system. They have it in the state, but in the federal system.
You remember the movie Penitentiary?
Yes.
Yeah, all right.
You know, and what had happened was we had an inmate there who was a fighter. And I knew one of the trainers from the outside who was interested in training when he got out. And I arranged it for him to come up and talk to the visit with the
network.
This
Motherfucker, boy,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I took it a step further. You know what? Let's bring some fighters up, set the ring up there in the yard, and let's have a little exhibition. You know, and I can arrange it that the guy can box, the inmate can box. And what I did was I made him like the main event.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we had about 4 or 5 fights, and he was the main event. And I was doing the announcing. I was the Michael Buffer and Jimmy Lennon. I was talking and stuff. And I got down. The guy started sparring, and it dawned on me. I said, "Man, I didn't get a referee. You know, you got to have keep control of this. You know,
right."
So at the time, the trainer, he passed away, named Victor Martinez, and Willie Borchett. You know, I asked him, "Hey, you mind if I get up there and referee?" You know, no, go up there. And I got up there, and like instantly, I fell in love with it. Instantly, I was like, "This is what I want to do." And make a long story short, they took a step further and called the Arizona State Boxing Commission and said, "Give this guy a shot," because at the end of the show, he asked me if I ever done that before. I said, "No." He says, "Well, I think you should look into it. You got good natural movements."
That's a book.
Absolutely.
You might think about writing.
No, absolutely.
When you get ready to write your book, let me know.
I got you. You know what I mean? I got you. But no, like I say, one thing led to another, and looking back at it, being a Muslim, I'm look back at it and I know that he makes everything happen.
Everything.
Everything happen, and so I started. Actually, they gave me the Arizona State Commission. They gave me a tryout, because the usual procedures, you start out with the amateur ranks and work your way up. But they were going on the word of Beto Martinez, because he was really influential, with the commission. And what they did was they gave me an exhibition, a tryout from a Tough Man contest. Now,
what was the Tough Man contest here?
No, it was in Kingman, Arizona.
Okay.
All right. And Tough Man contest, you got people off the street, so
one of my guys from Vegas won the one here in Vegas at the Mahoney's.
Okay. And but everything went well, and I said, well, come on back, take your physical, and you're in. So I started refereeing in Phoenix, the small venues and stuff, what have you. So immediately I said, I want to go to Vegas. How can this happen? How can I make this happen? Well, being in the federal system, there's federal institutions throughout the country, and they have to have a prison camp on Nellis Air Force Base. Okay, and now we have to understand, I had like 3 or 4 years in, so I'm low on the totem pole. A prison camp, you getting the old timers getting ready to come out,
right.
and going in. And the opening came up in recreation, okay? And I'm not going to tell myself no, I'm going to put in for it. I put in for it, and what had happened was my first warden in Phoenix, he was now in charge of the Western region, okay? He happened to come to to Phoenix. Now, of all the barbershops in Phoenix, he had to go to where I got my hair cut. Hold on. Now there's like 4 or 5 barbers in there. He happened to go to the one who cuts my hair.
Wow.
They sitting in the chair. Now the barber don't know who he is. He don't. And,
right.
You walk in barbershops. You have pictures of sports pictures of the Phoenix Suns and all that stuff. And there's a picture of me when I did my first world title fight, and I raised the fighter's hand. And so he's looked up there and he says, "Is that Tony Weeks?" And the barber said, "Oh yeah." He says, "Matter of fact, I cut his hair." He says, "Oh really?" And the barber said, "Yeah, he's trying to get to Las Vegas." Yeah, tell me that's not divine intervention.
Hey,
yeah.
In the Laha, Kulishayan, Kadir.
All praises to you. You know what I mean? And boom.
Yeah.
So how everything had to systematically fall in place for me to be where I'm at today.
Man, well, I'm glad to have you as a fighter, a referee,
Thank
and
you.
I know a lot of other people is too.
Thank you.
And I know some parents are glad that you're in the ring with their kids.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you've done a great job.
Thank you.
And man, it's been great talking to you. And before we leave, is there anything that you want to leave with any of the fighting fans or just the normal people?
Hey, like in anything, don't be too hard on the fighters. Don't be too hard on the officials. Fighters step in that ring, they laying the ultimate on the line. And, never badmouth a fighter, because you think he quit on the stool or he doesn't want to fight anymore. You're not in there taking that punishment. There's nothing better than life. Being able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Being able to get out of that game, because like I say, every punch that a fighter takes, there's some damage,
Absolutely. And you get a chance to see it later on when you go up and shake their hand when they're done fighting and it's over with.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Riddick Bowe, you know what I mean?
Yeah, And, just have some compassion for the fighters, have some compassion for the officials because they can't do it without us. You can't have a football game without the officials, a basketball without the officials.
Couldn't work.
And, hey, we're trained to do what we do. Like I said before, we're human. Nobody's perfect, but we sign up to do that job and we sign up to do it the best of our ability.
So everybody that's got everything bad to say or anything good to say about Tony Weeks, you heard it from the horse's mouth. This is what it is. And he laid it down for you. And listen, we're going to do a part 2 with Tony Weeks. So y'all watch out for the part 2. We might have his song together. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Click subscribe, hit like. Also share this. And we'll get back to y'all next week. Peace.
Drunk in a Uber is not just another party anthem. It is a covert message cleverly disguised in an infectious and catchy tune. The song's lyrics emphasize the importance of making responsible decisions after a night out and the use of a rideshare service as a safe alternative to driving under the influence. By amplifying this message through sharing to your platform, you can help raise awareness about the risks of drunk driving and encourage your audience to make smarter choices. Share this song and save lives.
Dance all night.